Geniuses. So we talk a lot about the history between these players and teams here in the league, and this one is no exception. A lot of history between these guys. We'll talk about that here shortly. Let's go ahead and take a look at the teams in particular, and that's going to be EnVyUs. Now they are currently 1-1 with just over a 50% map win ratio. Currently ranked 4th. You got your players on screen there. Roy, Lunchbox, Falcated, Coach, Ogre 2, and then the 4th player, the one that we're going to talk about here a little bit further, Tapping Buttons. We're talking about in the pregame show here, one of the newest players here to join the league. And then I actually got a name correction as well from Towie, as it's Hoseby. Was Valdez. So that's actually what we're looking at here. So this guy, clearly a lot of talent. You don't get picked up on a team like EnVyUs without having that raw skill and, of course, the potential to come out and really make a statement. Now, the maps that these guys are going to be facing off on, take a look at the series layout here. Games 1, 2, 3, Empire, Strongholds, True Slayer, Coliseum, CTF.
Yeah, good first game type here. Empire Strongholds, very fast-paced game type. Not looking at many power weapons on the map. Empire and Truth, that's going to favor EnVyUs because you have Mikwin, you have Snipe Down here. Snipe Down obviously is so deadly with the sniper rifle. He's only going to have that opportunity in Coliseum and in the rig if it does go into game number 5. So Eden Strongholds is one of those maps that, you're playing it from the blue side, for EnVyUs is going to be a little bit tough from them. But I've been seeing some very solid beginning starting grenades coming out from the blue team, finally shutting down players from the red side, going for the overshield. It's a very easy grenade. You just go there and predict that one. But you're going to also see possibly delayed pushes coming in from Mikwin. So be on the lookout for that. He likes to sometimes wait for those grenades to explode and then charge in there. Sometimes also you see whoever goes there is the first person to spawn up or the closest person to spawn up too. And that's what I really like to see from certain teams. You could tell that they've gone and done their research when they know that, hey, if I spawn here, I'm going to go there, compared to saying, all right, no matter where I spawn, I'm going to go into this instance. So just the next level into the meta there. And it's going to be fun to, again, we haven't even touched base on this. This is the first time we're going to be seeing the heavy aim update put in effect in the HCS Pro League. So shout out to everyone at 343 for putting that together. And we are getting this one underway. Empire Strongholds, EnVyUs, taking on Team EnVyUs. Kicking this one off with Lunchbox, as he's going to not actually help out for the overshield. He's going to instead try to fight top center against his former teammate, Snipe Down. That's going to be first blood going on over to him. Can he take out the player that's above him? No, that's going to be Mikwin getting the kill. Switching on over to Mikwin, as Falcade was able to secure the overshield for EnVyUs. As you can see that right in front of him, and Mikwin trying to escape out of there as fast as possible. Everyone just trying to buy position and get into that pit area as red base is going to be captured. There's Falcade with the assassination, and it looks like EnVyUs is able to capture that very important stronghold down below.
That was extremely clutch, and strong side would say tons of dipsy doodling happening around here. New radar updates, of course, make that just that many more mind games involved here, as we are still watching Tapping Buttons versus Hook, and none other than Hook is going to come out on top there. One of the wild cards, or the trump cards here for Team Envy.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty big 1v1 because now Hook's able to add pressure from this side of the map, but Tapping Buttons right off the respawn comes back and gets the grenade kill. So you can see Envy, they desperately want to push over towards the pit, but they don't have any numbers right now. EnVyUs is doing a really nice job spreading out, watching everything that they need to. Lunchbox, he's going to clamber up and try to help over towards the security side. Ola's going to actually spawn over towards the blue side, so I'm curious to see if EnVyUs is now capturing red base instead. Tapping Buttons, he's going to find a beatdown onto Snipe Down. This is another very important 1v1. If Lunchbox can get it, he's going to be able to get the reset. Now he's going to have to back down. He didn't even see those player outlines. He was just aware and calculating that someone was going to come up from that area. Now both of the players that are alive for EnVyUs are pushing outside. Look at this run, Kyle. 22 points and counting. Team EnVyUs hasn't been able to break the setup since EnVyUs was able to capture the pit.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like Lunchbox is shooting any, spectacularly or anything, but I really like his map movement and how passive he was playing that scenario. Normally he is somebody that is just constantly charging and being aggressive and maybe give up a lot of unnecessary deaths, but he was playing very defensive, setting up, controlling the pit, and my favorite thing, he didn't come in to go fight blue base, he knew his teammates were capturing red.
Sniped out, able to capture the pit by himself. It's very important that he was able to do that because now you can see who he can go outside for the overshield. They may even also have time on the camo. There goes the reset, but oh, Falcated coming in with the Spartan Charge assassination. Roy even had the green gun too, so I love that Evil Geniuses, they're aware that that's not a good time for them to die, but at least they're focusing on getting the green gun, finding that overshield guy, and doing whatever they can to maintain control. Look at this. They are now flooding towards the pit. While they're doing that, they're grenading out blue base, trying to potentially get a triple cap here, and not sure how long that one's going to last because they are not able to clear out blue, but this is the Evil Geniuses that their fans have been waiting for quite some time. I mean, I can't recall any games from Evil Geniuses against EnVyUs where they have been able to hold a setup in a Strongholds game for this long. Tapping buttons, he's racking up kills down in that kill feed in the bottom left as Lunchbox, like you said, very methodical in the way that he's moving. Kyle now pressing the triple cap again as Hook, he's going to fly in towards the window, and Hook could have probably been capturing the pit during that time. It's a triple cap for EnVyUs, or for Evil Geniuses, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, this is just great play out of Evil Geniuses. You can tell they are coming into this matchup very prepared. You see lots of teams consistently go for triple caps, not only on Empire, but also on Plaza a lot, and they just constantly lose setup and give things up. Falcated. You got to talk about that perfect kill, double, or a perfect kill, make that a double kill, and still a triple cap happening here. There's a good chance that Evil Geniuses is going to be able to rotate to the other side of the map and maybe even stop this capture.
The best part about that double kill, though, on top of, Falcad's amazing shots, was we go on over to tapping buttons, and he's not challenging the player over towards security. So often you can see a player like that just get a little bit too excited, want to charge out, but instead he kind of baited himself out, was able to get that guy over towards the blue side security to show his face, and then comes in with the cleanup. And look at this, a triple cap still even pressing for the reset. They find the reset. There's another player, Ola, inside the base. That's going to be 3 dead, fresh dead, as Hook, he is the only guy alive, and he's also over towards the red base. So this is going to be all over pretty much. EnVyUs, they're going to spawn over towards blue. They have to capture that, and they have to make their way towards the pit. Just not enough time. That's going to be Camo going on over to Envy, Overshield going on over to Evil Geniuses, and game number 1, EG with the upset over EnVyUs.
And Evil Geniuses, yeah, talk about not only an upset, 100-5, keeping Envy in single digits in this game number 1. Wasn't really expecting that. This is Envy who, so the Optic match was on Thursday, which means they haven't won a game. That's the 4th loss in a row as far as Pro League matches go. Losing the 3, the reverse sweep, and then right into this one.
All right, let's take a look at the stats, because Tapping Buttons, the guy that we were highlighting beforehand, he is the guy that's doing work. 12-5, Kyle. 11-5 for Falcated as well. So the Brown twins, Lunch and Roy, they're just kind of hanging back, playing support.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you don't necessarily see too often, but I do like what Lunchbox was doing that game. We were on board with him a lot, and like I pointed out, maybe his shots weren't the crispest I've ever seen. He wasn't pulling off a lot of perfect kills or reversals or anything there, but his map movement and what he needed to do as far as buying time, rotating on the map, focusing on Envy's new spawns were on point.
Definitely, and one perfect kill in the entire game. It was Falcated when he got that double kill. What an impressive double kill that was. Almost securing the triple cap and ending the game there for Evil Geniuses. But Tapping Buttons, we were on board with him to start and then kind of fell away from him because of how long the guys were alive on Evil Geniuses. But first game going up against EnVyUs in this series, and to come out that strong, can he carry over to Truth Slayer?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this being a huge test for Tapping Buttons. You had earlier, week 1, they go 1-1. And now, Evil Geniuses' next 2 matches, Envy and Optic. It just doesn't get literally any tougher than that for these guys here. So Tapping Buttons on his debut against the best online team, essentially, that we have, them along with Optic Gaming, is just proving that he can compete with the best.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Just from that game alone, coming out and being able to do it in a game type with not many weapons, it's hard to go, in my opinion, Empire Strongholds that big when he's not really getting much resources. I didn't see anything, like a long camo run or him baiting anybody. He was mainly just responding to callouts and just going where he needs to go on the map. So that's a very strong statement for Evil Geniuses to start. And we'll see if they can close this next map out, because if they can go up 2-0, I mean, this is going to be phenomenal for them. This is going to possibly jumpstart their entire season for them and turn it around, where you would expect, Evil Geniuses before the season to start, you'd say, all right, yeah, maybe 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th on that bottom 4, but now they're looking like a team that could possibly push towards the top 4.
Yeah, they didn't have the best week one or the one they wanted, but hey, it's a pretty good job to go 1-1, especially when you could be sitting in the shoes of Luminosity or even Straight Rippin at this point here with the shortened season, 7 match days here. Every win counts, and Evil Genius is putting themselves in prime position for this match day number 3 here to come out and you just keep staying at the top of the ranks.
Yeah, and what was going on with Envy there? Did you see anything that was kind of, standing out to you, or do you think that it was more or less just, I don't know, maybe first game, slow start, first game jitters, whatever you want to call it, coming out from EnVyUs? Empire Strongholds, it's not a very forgiving game type. That's why I thought it was good for Evil Geniuses when I saw this, pull for them. Don't have to face any sniper rifles in the beginning. You don't have to deal with, any weapons really per se. So now they're going to a Truth Slayer again with the same type of style. We're constantly running around, rotating on the spawns, a lot of positioning and things like that. So this is an opportunity, in my opinion, where we saw Lunch maybe not have the best shots, where I'm looking at Lunch and Roy here, particularly Roy, who has one of the best shots and has for quite some time in Halo, to potentially carry here. That would be staple Evil Geniuses, in my opinion, would be Roy dropping 20 kills in this game. That is when, in my opinion, Evil Geniuses is back.
Yeah, I mean, you can never count Roy out. Like you said, he's got one of the best shots in the game. And that's been true since 2000 and I want to say 6 was when they started playing.
2006, 2007 is really when he started to come along. But however, Ola was able to escape with the camouflage here to start this one. So that is very good for EnVyUs, having one of your sneakiest players, one of the sneakiest players in the game, being invisible right now. What is he going to do with this one? Looks like he's going to be responding to a couple of calls, possibly making his way over towards Pink. You can see the flood coming in for Evil Geniuses, really wanting to take out Ola, but Ola just kind of being a nuisance here, laying down shots everywhere. Everyone's kind of running around looking for him. There's a player from the Pink side laying down the shots. Falcated with the double kill, giving the lead. Make that the triple kill. Falcated going big, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, you had Envy on a great comeback there. Pistola with that camo, hiding around in the attic. However, good collapse coming out from Evil Geniuses. Lunchbox below the base, bought a lot of time here for his team. And what I thought was going to be EnVyUs pulling away here in this game, Evil Geniuses actually brought it right back. They still have control of Pink Tower, although they just gave that up to Mikwin, who just came off of a great flank here.
Ooh, very rarely do you see Snipe Down get outshot in a 1v1 like that, and it was Falcated again with the perfect shots. Tapping buttons, he's going to find a trade there with Hook. Mikwin's going to clean that one up, but I want to see what's going on with this guy's point of view. Falcated is not missing any shots with the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, the only perfects I think so far we've seen today have come none other than Falcated. Doing that to, I think, Mikwin and Snipe Down are the 2 players that it's happened to so far. You can see Falcated sees Snipe Down on his screen and is no stranger to just being aggressive on here. Gets
Who
some
wants
help.
some? He wants some. I'll take on multiple challengers. Anyone that wants to clamor up there is going down. Roy flying out, getting that kill on to Mikwin. It's going to be Pistola answering with the perfect across the map. Tied up 12-12 here. Ola really wants to get that camouflage that he picked up last time. However, you see 3 players from Evil Geniuses making their way towards that side of the map. Very heads up that Evil Geniuses is at least just putting pressure on this area of the map. You do not want to give it up for free. Shows that they're extremely aware. Ogre 2 on top of things. Roy's going to get the kill with the frag grenade, and now is going to be the push coming out for Evil Geniuses. Look how coordinated these guys are. 3 players pushing out all from that same side.
Yeah, I mean, you had about 15 to 20 seconds before that camo was coming up, and I felt like we were watching some Halo 2 midship action, trying to retake Pink control of Pink Tower here. We saw just great movement from Red 1 and Red 2 from Evil Geniuses setting up, knowing that camo was going to spawn. Now, it didn't all work out in their favor, but take a look at that. A couple random nades or prediction
They don't realize
nades.
they killed the camo guy.
Yeah,
they're still looking around. Roy, if you only knew how sick those grenades actually were, just completely blowing up the camo guy. It's like, hey, I got a hit marker. Hey, I got one too. Oh, we got a kill. Pistola making his way back into Pink, though. He's going to find the perfect onto Lunchbox after I believe he also killed Twin Brother Roy over there. Now Hook's going to try to clear out this bubble area as he's rotating over towards that blue bend. I like that play from Tapping Buttons. He gets out of there immediately. However, Hook is on top of it and does not miss a shot. Roy is going to drop on top of that as well. 4-kill lead here for EnVyUs. This is, more of the game that we were expecting from these guys. Definitely not over yet for Evil Geniuses, but you can definitely see that EnVyUs is not a team that is going to lose 100-5 or 50-2.5.
Uh-oh.
moving forward.
Uh-oh. Lunchbox really wants to get this kill here on Snipe Down, but it looks like it's going to reset both players at full shields, make that Pistola versus Lunchbox. Pistola just backing down. Snipe Down ultimately ends up coming ahead there. And, you know, back when it was only a 3-kill lead, I actually liked the position EvilGeniuses was in. Envy had both of the first 2 camos, and the game was within 3 kills. Now we're finally seeing Envy take the biggest lead they've had so far, or the only lead they've had in the series.
Yeah, and it's 6 kills, which is, you know, not the most sizable lead, so they're going to want to continue to build on that here with the positioning that they have, because it could flip very quickly if Snipe Down was to drop, and if they were able to clear out Carside, which just happened, now they could potentially collapse on this base and do a full rotation of spawns. That's exactly what's happening right now. Falcated finds a kill. Hook at least is able to get the trade there, but there it is. 3 kills virtually for 1 there, and now it's a 4-kill lead with control in the hands of EvilGeniuses, tapping buttons, and it looks like Roy, we're just a little bit too slow to help Lunchbox, and that's a pretty big kill because Lunchbox was holding that area of the map. Now Snipe Down, he rotates over towards top center. Very unfortunate for EvilGeniuses that they were not on top of the spawns after they actually did the rotation.
Yeah, and sure enough, they brought it back again, but just at the wrong time. Several members drop, and Pistola is going to walk away with a fresh camo once again. That's at least the second one he has got. I don't know who got the one in between there, but now he's looking at the first and third camos already secured by him, up to a 7-kill lead. So this game's still far from over. I
want to say it was Mickwin. I think Mickwin was the guy that died by those grenades there, but yeah, he's so patient. Look at this, Kyle. He's crouching around the corner, aware, and not only is he just being a nuisance and laying down damage, he is gathering so much information. Potential triple kill coming in. Can he find it? Snipe Down coming in with the cleanup. I was really excited for an overkill there. I thought it was coming.
I thought he was going to get it. You could just see the confidence he was playing with, not just spamming shots on those movements. He lined up the last headshot, kill went over to Snipe Down, but either way, I think Pistola is going to pick it up here. And I'm still liking these, up to 11 kills.
I love this rotation coming in. We could see that if he was to charge in there, he already had someone in that line of sight behind him. That was Hook. Hook's already filling that area. So Pistola is aware of the situation. No one's over towards the car side. If anyone was to spawn over towards there, he's adding the pressure. Not only that, but he's coming in from a different angle with the flank as well. So he had so many different options there, and that's literally the perfect play in terms of the spacing that he needed to do and the amount of pressure that he needed to add on the map. Very heads-up play coming in from Ola. The way that this is being played now, I feel like EvilGenius has lost their opportunity there that we were talking about when they brought it back to 4 kills, Kyle. Now you're seeing EnVyUs kind of pull away here. 10 kills, it was 12 eventually. Camo coming up, maybe they can get this next camo, but if it goes on over to Pistola again, I'm worried.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting down towards the end of this game. However, 3 dead for Envy. If there's ever a time to turn this around, bring it back within, now back up to 8 kills. Falcated fall there, but good pressure coming out from Roy. He should be able to get this kill on Pistola, or he needs it anyway. We'll see. Pistola, oh, what a great job. Perfect timing there on the shields and just being able to stay alive.
Yeah, and great grenade placement too. Predicting where that player is going to go and charge to get the angle when you're weak. Sometimes being weak, you can, you know, put yourself in an advantage by predicting where someone's going to get a little bit too aggressive. And we call that the stupid noob.
Yeah, the anti-charging grenades.
The anti-charging grenades.
You just got to throw them sometimes.
Sometimes just throw them at your feet. You never know what happens. But 4 kills here for EnVyUs to close this one up and tie this series up 1-1. I think that they're going to be able to do it, and we're going to be seeing a very, very intense game number 3, which is going to be Coliseum CTF. So very excited for that one. Maybe Falcated could get something together here, but he's going to need maybe a triple kill or an overkill and something a little bit more. And I just don't see that happening since he's pinched in between 2 players already weak. Pistola, the wizard, what a game from him. Such great rotations, perfect plays with the camouflage. Very clean game coming out from EnVyUs.
Yeah, I mean, I like what EG was doing, though. You know, like I said, it was hard to predict EvilGeniuses over Envy in this series, but game 1 kind of surprised everyone. I don't think anyone was really kind of expecting to see what they were able to do there. Game number 2, extremely close, not getting control of any of the camos, but still, you know, hanging with Envy throughout the course of the game. And the reason why I like some of the things we saw is, you know, clearly Envy outplayed them here in this game. You can take a look at the assists here, the total kills. You know, Lunchbox having a pretty rough game, along with Falcated, 15 deaths, a little bit more than you want to have in a
45 assists. Very impressive from EnVyUs.
Yeah, but what I did like is the movements that we saw and the focus. So there were multiple occasions where they were sending players bottom center and double and triple teaming people in pink 2, pink side of the base, and even top center at times. So it is really hard to push out in the middle of the map and just be that confident and knowing that your teammates are going to be there to support you and help you and be able to get those kills with thrust and splint. Somebody's on ping 3, they can just disappear almost instantly unless you got 2-3 guys shooting at them.
I feel like one of the underutilized positions in Truth Slayer is just sitting inside the window. Sometimes you can, not only in the beginning of the game, but continuously, obviously choking the spawns, that's one thing, but it's very important to be inside of the window because you want to be able to watch top center. You could also watch the bubble, but it's really just pink support. And that's what we saw Evil Geniuses kind of falter with in that game, in my opinion, especially when they got control and just allowed 2 members to easily come in from car side and just charge top center. To me, it seems like they were maybe down low at that time or underneath the base, or maybe they were sprinting into a position that they needed to get into. But that's one of the most important things is once you get numbers going for you, immediately sprint into those positions. Beware of those car spawns. Don't let anyone get top center. One of the ways that you could easily shut that down is definitely having someone in that window area. But here we go, guys. Game number 3, all locked up 1-1. Coliseum CTF starting it off with Lunchbox.
Generally one of the most exciting game types to watch in the HCS. There's just so much action. We've seen some of the most ridiculous comebacks on any map here, and you of course got the sniper rifle and the rockets here to play with. So always a fan favorite, one of my personal favorite game types, and I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
Great start for Lunchbox. Hits Ola with 2 of their grenades, gets extremely aggressive on that because he got double hit markers, and now he's in a position with battle rifle and rockets. However, now he is shown up after the hit markers come in. Snipetown was able, not to live through that rocket. Is he gonna, through his teammate, tapping buttons. That was no shields. The triple kill's right behind you if you want it. There's the radar he popped up on there. Hook's still alive and shuts down Lunchbox. That was an awful turn of events for Lunchbox. We thought for sure the clip was coming, but Hook shuts that down. Rocket's no longer in the hands of Evil Geniuses, and they also lost the sniper rifle. So what looked like an amazing start, possibly pushing in for a cap, ends up with Envy having control of the weapons, and that's what we were worried about here. For the side of Evil Geniuses, it's the first game type now with rockets and sniper rifle on the map, and we all know what these power players can do. That doesn't mean that Falcated's a cinch with this sniper rifle by any means, though. We'll see if he's going to be able to put this to work here very, very shortly. And one of the things that we talked about, Kyle, about Roy having to drop 20 kills, well, he didn't drop 20 previously. I'd just like to point out that he dropped 15.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. If he had dropped 20, there's a good chance they would have won that game, so you can just mark that loss up to Roy's fault. But no, Falcated here. I'm the cave, not going to be able to connect on any of those no-scopes. Tons of aggression here coming out from Envy. The flag is out. Pistola about to hit that 50-yard line. It's a 3v3. It's
going to be a
that
counterpull,
4-4 again. Tapping buttons, though. Perfect positioning here, and will Snipetown be able to spot him? He runs right for the flag, but he's not paying attention. Great grenade. Body shot comes in, and that flag is in prime position to go all the way now.
Snipetown missing that shot. Can he connect on the player over towards the DMR? Not able to. I'm surprised that Evil, there it is. Killing spree coming in from Snipetown. But I want to say that I was a little confused on why Evil Geniuses wasn't able to get that counter pull over towards the elbow. It seemed like they had positioning for that. The only thing that I could think of was that there had to be some solid pressure coming in from EnVyUs on that side of the map. Because we saw what was going on over towards the snipe side. Didn't seem like they were too concerned with the counter pull, more concerned about actually getting that flag past that 50-yard line and securing that one into their actual base. But they were able to do both, get that return and put the flag in. So EnVyUs now in prime position here. They need to get control, though. They do have currently 2 players alive. Lunchbox and Falcated, they're going to drop tapping buttons as well. It's Roy now with the rockets. All of them, he has a lot of rockets as well. That's going to be 2 now after that kill onto Hook. Dodging that grenade as well. There's a player above him. He's in a very vulnerable spot. Way too low right now. Needs to get up top immediately. Pistol's going to find a kill onto Lunchbox, but Roy somehow I thought he was going to live, but Mikwin coming in with the cleanup. That is a very important kill for EnVyUs.
Yeah, talk about important. 3 dead, and Rocket's about to switch hands, but no, clutch plays coming off spawn. Snipetown with that new sniper rifle.
I thought I was tossing up to him. That could be the next level play.
That would have been
That's the next level play, guys. You saw it here first. Keep a guy catwalk, toss it out to him in the window. The guy catwalk tosses it onto the guy in the DMR. The guy in the DMR tosses it onto the guy sitting into the fountain. It's the new 5-second cap.
Yeah, we'll see if that one or where that one goes here as you had now 3 alive for each team. Just kind of testing the waters, trying to regain control of the map here. Snipetown no, still with that sniper rifle here. You can see in that kill feed, sniping once again, tapping buttons, just keeping Evil Geniuses trapped in their base.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses needs to get out of this area. I mean, being in the cave, it's great and all, but when multiple people are charging over from that snipe side, it's time to flank around and go down low towards the runway. EvilGenius is electing to just play defense instead, trying to crouch multiple players inside of the base. It looks like they're getting picked apart, though. That player in the back flag is pretty solid, though. Lunchbox with the smart play. He's able to get that kill onto Mikwin. Can he get the kill? Yes, he does, onto Hook. So everyone's set up for defense, and no one succeeded besides Lunchbox there. So again, we've talked about how clutch he can be in those certain moments, and that was one of those plays.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to keep up that defense here as now Pistolas moving across the map with these rockets. Will spot tapping buttons. Perfect rocket. Make that a potential double kill.
Ooh.
No, great teamwork here. Lunchbox once again being that anchor and just playing so much defense here for his squad.
Yeah, it's going to be Lunchbox and Roy dropping, though, and the flag is currently being ran towards the grass. I like this play from Sniped Out, helping secure it. Can he get the beat down? He does. Tapping buttons. That's going to be a kill onto Hoop, but not going to mean much, as I'm not sure how that was an actual suicide, but either way, it's still a capture for Team EnVyUs. Rockets in the hands of Mikwin. They still have control of the snipe tower. EvilGenius is flanking over towards that elbow area. Roy trying to get something going, does find a grenade kill, but I'm not sure if that flank's going to work out. Snipe Down just shuts that down with the frag grenade. Lunchbox, he's going to drop eventually over towards this grass area. Snipe Down picking up 2 kills very quickly, make that 3 kills. And again, EnVyUs with full control over here. They're waiting over towards that rocket side. Pistola with the carbine. I love the spacing coming out from EnVyUs. When you have someone over towards that snipe side, it's important to have a player with them, but there's no reason to send your entire team over there. Grabbing that carbine, that's what it's there for. You can lay down such damage across the map.
Yeah, we'll see. Still a lot of time left to play. We talked about this when this game started. Comebacks here, just insane. What we've been able to see some of these teams do. Speaking of the Contra plays earlier, when I thought they were going to come ahead in series in the LCQ and just not be able to pull that off.
But we're not seeing anything from EvilGeniuses in this game quite yet to say, hey, I mean, we did see some great stuff in the first game, don't get me wrong. Game 2, 50-38, not too far, but Coliseum CTF, what I'm really worried about, Kyle, is we've seen right in the beginning of the game, Lunchbox get the rockets. We've seen them get the sniper rifle. We've seen Roy with the rockets numerous times. But what have we seen when Team EnVyUs gets the weapons? We've seen 2 caps pretty much. So EvilGeniuses, they're going to have to do better. Once they get these power weapons, once they get control, that's the time to capitalize. If you turn those over, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, and I think that's what we've seen so far.
Yeah, or the enemy team's the one shooting you in the foot with those weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
You can see Falcated, he's got the sniper rifle here for EG. He's going to see if he can get anything started. But that's a good point you brought up, Top. It's not like we're not seeing EvilGeniuses get the weapons. It's what they do with the weapons while they have them. Something, I know Strength has struggled with a lot of the times. Though one of the differences between Optic, Envy, and a lot of the other teams here is all 4 members are phenomenal at controlling the power weapons and staying alive with them and just filling any role necessary.
Yeah. Well, I think what happens in certain instances is it looks like EvilGeniuses is able to get some footing in this game. 7 minutes later, they're able to put that first cap in. Roy with the sniper rifle is going to drop, but it comes down to just being confident with the weapons. That is literally one of the most important things, not just with the weapons, but just in Halo in general. You think if Mikwin didn't think he was going to hit that shot, that he actually would have hit it? He knew 100% that that is what he's going for. He's confident lining that one up. And then also making sure that you're on the same page. Sometimes when you're hearing too many different things in the call-outs, or it gets a little bit too hectic, or whatever, you're not able to focus on what you're able to do with the weapons. So now we're in an instance right here where all 4 dead, Mikwin already in position to just completely lay down so much fire from these players from EvilGeniuses. All the players from EvilGeniuses doing the right play, overextending, but Mikwin on top of it, sees 2 players on his radar, knows exactly what to do in that situation, just needs to hit the shots on the tapping buttons. Nice crouch coming in from tapping. It looks like Roy coming around the corner as well. Roy is going to have to win this if he wants to get that return. You can see he's fighting multiple players here. Looks like it's not going to happen. The return comes in for Envy, and that is it. EvilGenius is going to fall 3-1 to Team EnVyUs. Very clean game with the weapons coming out from Envy.
Yeah, I mean, Envy is obviously turning this series around after that game 1 loss. They've really got things put back together. I mean, that's something we see from Envy a lot. They're consistently a team that goes down to the losers bracket, fights their way through. We've seen them. The one difference, though, is normally we see them come out hot against some of the lower seeded teams, and that's not what we saw against EvilGeniuses. They're the ones that are turning it around this time.
Yeah, I feel like we saw game one when it was 100-5 for Team EnVyUs. What tournament was that? Was that Daytona where there's the picture of Envy like sleeping, just like sitting back, kicked in their chairs with their legs up? I feel like that's what happened in game number one, and Evil Geniuses took full control of that. But we'll see what happens in game number 4 here. I think game number 5 was Rig Slayer. And then we did see Strongholds game number 1, so that means game number 4 is going to end up as Strongholds as well. I believe it's Plaza, not 100% sure, but if they're, it's Eden, sorry, I forgot about that one, but they're playing from the blue side. It's going to be tough for Evil Geniuses, but if they were able to put together such a strong performance on Empire, there's no reason that they can't win that one here in Eden, and then anything can happen in a game number 5. So Evil Geniuses, they have to brush that loss off and get focused here. In the stats, they're Tapping Buttons and Falcade, the two guys that had an amazing game number 1, kind of falling short here. Lunchbox probably had his best game in the series there, going into Coliseum CTF, but just not enough. Too much going on. Mikwin having probably the strongest series out of anyone. We haven't even had an opportunity to talk about him. He's been going off. We saw that sniper rifle kill. He's so fast when you watch Mikwin play, and he is very decisive, and that's such a very high quality to have. It's such an important quality to have, because even if you're not making the right decision, if you're making the decision fast enough, you're throwing people off, because Halo's all about the timing, right? It's about having that internal clock that's clicking when you've played so much that you know someone's coming up the loop in Plaza, or you know if someone's flanking around your elbow in Coliseum. So Mikwin, he's just on top of everything right now. A lot of that you saw when he came back and returned that flag capture. Very small play, but very important that he was able to do that.
Yeah, a lot of teams don't come back to secure captures.
That's the last cap.
Exactly.
You have to.
You have to. It's a really good thing to bring up here. A lot of little things that change the course of a game. But, pointing out Mikwin, he is obviously one of the best players in the game. His sniper is always on point and insane. His shots ridiculous. We saw him with back-to-back perfects in week number 1. And he's just had these plays that have been able to consistently push EnVyUs forward. And EnVyUs is a squad where they consistently, in any given series, have a really bad game. They just do. They had the one against Ryan Noob's team in Daytona where they lost like 50 to
20 or whatever.
20, something like that, and then come back and win the series.
It can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
It really can. And what's weird is that you rarely see that happen to Opta Gaming, and I'm curious why that is. Maybe they're obviously the best team in the world, but it's so important to just brush those games off and realize that that can really happen in Halo 5. So I'm really hoping that Evil Genius is able to do that, because they were so fun to watch in that first game. So Eden Strongholds, it's going to come down to me, again, Lunch and Roy, their communication, they're filling in the positions. The reason that Tapping Buttons and Falcade had such a successful game was probably because the information was being fed to them on that Empire Strongholds game. I think of them as much more quiet players compared to Lunch and Roy, who are constantly barking things out. So this is going to be very important for the coaches as well. Alumni and Ogre 2, with so much going on. Overshield, camo, rockets, focusing on where the strongholds are going to be, making sure that all the teams are getting the resets, and making sure that if your team does get on the ropes here, that you have a formidable plan to be able to try to retake control, something that EnVyUs wasn't able to do that entire first game.
Yeah, those are good points to bring up. And, we're talking about Eden Strongholds here. And this is a game type, there's a lot of history between these two teams. So going back summer or fall season, I can't picture which one right now. But there was a replay that happened. And it was a crazy replay, because I think it was Evil Geniuses up. I want to say it was like 90-5. Right, exactly. It was some kind of crazy lead, and then they replay the match after the lag out.
They didn't get like 1 second.
And they needed like 10 seconds to win, and it was essentially game 1 that we saw there, but it was Envy doing it to Evil Geniuses. So EG kind of really good at these stronghold game types, but can be also hit or miss, just like this Envy lineup.
Well, the beginning of the games are so important, right? And we saw in the first game, Evil Geniuses get off to the great start. We saw Lunchbox with the first blood on over to Snipe Down. Falcade got the overshield. We even saw, I think, Falcade assassinate the overshield guy for when EnVyUs was able to get it. Then I think about game number 2, right? It was pretty back and forth to start, but in the beginning it was Team EnVyUs with the advantage. It was Pistola picking up the camo. They carried that on for the rest of the game, where they constantly had that timer, right? And it was Evil Geniuses killing them and making it a 5-5 game. But Evil Geniuses' one mistake that they were making that game was not regaining control and putting them on a spawn trap, right? So then in game number 3, Evil Geniuses gets the rockets and has the good start, but they don't capitalize on it. So if you get a hot start, that's what Evil Geniuses is missing out on in game number 3 in Coliseum. They could have potentially, been up 1-0 to start that. That is completely different mindset, completely different energy than when you're down 2-0, not only for yourself, but for the enemy team. So it's so important to kill the guy going for the overshield here, whether it's Mikwin or whoever spawns up there front from the red side. Make sure that you win your camo battle and make sure that you can put up a fight for these rockets. Otherwise, you're looking at a 3-1 EnVyUs.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens here in this game as we are getting ready to start this one up here. Back into this one with Lunchbox here as they're immediately pushing out and wanting to contest camo here. We'll see what happens as you've got both Pistola who drops, but then Snipe Down on that flank. He's going to be contesting tapping buttons for this camo.
Tapping buttons, I thought he was going to get aggressive and go for the kill. Snipe Down's going to elect to not even challenge that, and Catwalk's going to go right on over to EnVyUs. So you see Overshield and rockets in the hands of Mikwin. While there was some good things going on over towards that security side, Mikwin was able to do that delayed push most likely and get that Overshield, which is pretty much the saving grace right now here for EnVyUs, besides the fact that they were able to capture Blue Ben. So there it is, Mikwin picking up a kill onto Roy. Snipe Down finds one on a Falcade. Now the rotation's going to come on over towards the Catwalk area, and it's going to be up to tapping buttons with this camouflage. He's getting pegged in the back. Is he going to go for the ground pound? He does! He lands it onto Hook. Nasty!
There's the over, get it!
He's going for Mikwin now, who has the Overshield and finds Mikwin as well. He also had rockets in his back pocket, so tapping buttons putting in some serious work with that camouflage. What a play for Evil Geniuses.
Oh my.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say, Tom. He was about to be shooting fish in a barrel when he walked into that base. Didn't work out quite in his favor, but it was great overall map control, movement, and setting up for the strongholds. You can just see how much more clean Evil Geniuses and their execution here on strongholds as opposed to any other game type. Flags, having to move all the way across the base. I think what we're seeing is Evil Geniuses, their bait and switch, their teamwork, and their call-outs are so on point. Capture the flag games, still hard to move flags across the map, especially against the best teams. However, strongholds, you don't have to set up. You can get all 4 down and just grab control of those hills and then play defense instead of having to play offense and move a flag.
Yeah, and keep in mind that this is a still fairly new Evil Geniuses lineup, especially when you compare them to this EnVyUs lineup that they're going up to against right now. And you would expect Evil Geniuses to hang in the Slayers a little bit more because maybe there's not necessarily as much strategy you can argue in like a CTF objective game or like a Strongholds game here. Many layers to the objective games compared to just slay, slay, slay over here. That doesn't mean that there's not actual strategy in the Slayer games, don't get me wrong, but for Evil Geniuses to kind of show that they're strong in Strongholds, which I believe they were able to do against Splice as well in the series that they lost against Splice, the 3-2. They won both of the Strongholds here, so that's a good sign for them. They can say, all right, well, we got this one figured out. Let's start focusing on our CTF. Let's start focusing on our Slayers. And hopefully while that's happening, they don't lose all of their Strongholds.
Pistola's in a great position. As you can see in that kill feed, though, Roy's got the rockets. Lunchbox pushes out a little bit too quickly. They're going for Red Nest, trying to set up for a triple cap, but we'll find out if that was a mistake or not here shortly, as there's a good chance they're going to turn over Catwalk by trying to do so.
Yeah, but it's not that big of a deal because they're able to get a couple of slays on their side. If they're able to clear out Hook over towards this Red Nest, that's going to be great for them. All they need is a couple of grenades, but not one of those players over towards the Catwalk has a grenade. There it finally comes in. Hook's going to drop as soon as he gets the Stronghold. So just a little bit too late there for Evil Geniuses, but I think that they'll take the Catwalk trade for Nest any day of the week over here. Lunchbox trying to fight off these players towards the Blue Ben. EnVyUs flying in with a couple of grenades. Surprised that he stayed alive that long. Pistola, Hook, Snipe Down, all charging towards that side. And look at this little sneaky play coming in from tapping buttons. We've seen a lot of players do this. First person that comes to mind would have been Shooter when he got that clutch double kill in the Splice series for them to win the even Strongholds and secure that series. But tapping now, again, just messing with this player, just toying with whoever's over there trying to capture this Catwalk. Mikwin instead turns around, though, and has some very crisp shots to try to secure that security area.
I mean, Mikwin, he's just so confident and so good with his map movements where tapping buttons had a huge lead and advantage on him, but Mikwin just doubled back, went up Catwalk, kept his shields, but ultimately ended up committing to fighting tapping buttons and coming out ahead and switching control of the strongholds. This tapping buttons, if he came out ahead and picked up that kill, it could have been him sitting up top Catwalk helping out his teammates. So back to just how big some of those individual plays can lead to swings.
They are. That was a very big swing there. That was definitely able to put a lot more time on the
Oh, that was a
clock.
betrayal.
That was a betrayal. I think that could have been Rocket coming in from Mikwin.
Yeah.
Mikwin's going to go for another long-range rocket onto here. This time onto Falcated, who's making his way over towards the catwalk. And what a flank coming in from Launchbox over towards that Blue Bend area. Falcated, he's going to drop over towards that security area as Blue Bend does go on over to Evil Genius's Pistola with the overshield. Needs to clear this player out of red. Can he get the contest? No. Roy able to secure that one. Is twin brother Lunchbox going to be able to come and take this overshield down for Ola? He does get rid of the overshield, but can he get the slay? Falcated coming in to try to clean that one up. You also have Hook flying in there as well. Very important to secure this stronghold. Not able to do it quite yet. Grenade comes in. Reset comes in from Lunchbox and Evil Geniuses while they're holding two strongholds. That's great. They're also controlling catwalk right now as well. It looks like Tapping Button's trying to get that one. They're going to have multiple players spawning over towards the security side. Roy hops in there. I love Roy right there with the selfless play coming in there, sacrificing his life for his teammate and his team to put extra points on the board.
All right, now they need to be really careful not to give up full control here because they went for that triple cap. Great spawns from Envy to get into security, actually pick up 2 kills, and they may, oh no, Nest did get reset, so it's going to be Evil Geniuses back off of their own respawns here and keep Nest from turning over, and they're right back to the setup they want, Catwalk Nest here.
Yeah, this is crunch time here. You have the setup to continue to milk the clock here. You can assume that EnVyUs is going to make a rotation outside. That's what they've been doing for a majority of the game, but they also like to push over towards the blue alley area to secure the catwalk. So interesting strategy there from Snipedown, charging over towards the mid bridge. It looks like he wanted to go for red while everyone else was going blue, maybe as a distraction. And that's one of those positions that Snipedown kind of puts himself in more often than not. It's a very risk-reward play there where if he wins that 1 versus 1, he's at a disadvantage already with the height advantage, but if he wins that 1v1, that really opens up the map for EnVyUs. However, he dies, doesn't get the perfect shots. Lunchbox instead turns that one around, and now you're looking at Evil Geniuses possibly being able to run away with this one. Rockets and Overshield perfectly timed right there by Ogre 2. Lunchbox has all of the ammunition that he needs right now to try to secure this one. All he needs to do is get a couple more rounds of slays. That's not how you do it right there, just shooting that rocket into absolutely nothing. Tap buttons, there you go. Let's see how some Halo's played. That's a nice ground pound going into Hook. Switching on over to his pistol, finding Mikwin as well. Tapping buttons, this guy knows how to play strongholds.
Yeah, and that was one of the situations where Lunchbox with that overshield, you get overconfident sometimes with overshield, and he was charging out, running around, trying to pick up a kill, but Pistola was just too sneaky, and with the help coming in from Team EnVyUs, they were able to shut him down. They haven't picked up control again yet, but if he was just hiding in a corner, could have worked out and gotten a big lead.
Looks like Red Nest being captured by Envy. They're going for Catwalk as well. Are they going to be able to secure this triple cap? That's going to be 2, make that 3. There it is. 91 points were on the clock for Evil Geniuses, and I think it was 42 there for EnVyUs. Will they be able to complete the comeback? That would be disastrous for Evil Geniuses. However, they can push this to a game number 5. Brick Slayer with just 1 more stronghold to capture unless Envy was to retake it immediately. That's going to be a couple kills going on over to Evil Genius, or over to EnVyUs. Evil Genius is a little bit on the ropes here. Again, another triple cap flying in. These points can rack up very quickly, Kyle. They got to be careful and stop the bleeding ASAP.
Yeah, they need to make sure that they use a well-coordinated push here, because the last thing you want is to be on a spawn trap for the remainder of this game, and when a triple cap's happening like this, it can end just so quickly, and you have another reset coming in at Blue Bend. You really need to focus on getting all members of Evil Geniuses focusing on the same stronghold to stop this bleed.
Just imagine if they were able to capture that, Kyle, because they did take Red Nest on the side of Evil Geniuses, but here is the time where Lunchbox picked up the overshield last time. Snipedown has the rockets. It's pretty much all coming down to this 340 mark, I guess you can say, right when that overshield is going to pop up. Snipedown has the rockets. He's going to have to rotate over there. Everyone's pushing towards the pit. You can tell they really want this. He doesn't even care. He's going to kill Hook either way. It looks like Roy was able to get the overshield. However, Pistola gives him the assassination. I'm not sure if that was camo or not, but that is a huge, huge play from Pistola and from EnVyUs. However, Evil Geniuses so close to being able to close out the game. All they need to do, again, is capture 1 more stronghold. You can see Catwalk currently under control. Looks like Blue Bend is going to be the play. They capture it. Are they able to get the last 100 points? I think they are. Catwalk not going to go on over to EnVyUs. We are moving to a game number 5. Holy cow.
Yeah, I don't know if I expected to see this here out of our match of the week, but it's sure not disappointing anyone. Evil Geniuses with another strong Game 4 victory. Now, we saw them be weaker in Slayer, so they really need to turn it around here this time, but heck, going into a game 5, one, it's going to help your map win percentage, already taking these 2 wins here, so they got to be proud of themselves, or at least somewhat satisfied.
Map win percentage is big. Yep, map win percentage is big because Evil Geniuses has even been in an instance where they've lost a tiebreaker in order to, make a move because of the fact that they did have map win percentage less than someone else. Take a look at the stats really quickly. Tapping buttons again, 19 and 12, going big for Evil Geniuses. Lunch and Roy filling in again with the assist role. This was an amazing ground pound though. They're all tapping buttons really. I mean, so many times he's able to secure weapons, but not only secure the weapons, do something with those weapons. And that's what Evil Geniuses struggled with in Coliseum. Another great ground pound there. Very impressive gameplay coming out from him. You could tell. We're talking about confidence. He's a confident player. Tapping buttons again. First Mexican player in the HCS. He is not disappointing at all. And it's very impressive again to think how good Evil Geniuses is on Strongholds as such a new team where they've been able to win, I think, every single Strongholds that they play. Maybe they've lost one, but in the Splice series, they didn't drop one. Then in the next series, they only played one Strongholds game, so maybe they won that one. And then they win both of these against Envy. So watch out. If you're playing against Evil Geniuses on Strongholds, you know that is definitely their bread and butter game type.
Yeah, and that's something we'll be able to watch as we go along, too, and see if any of these teams are able to take some of the things Evil Geniuses is doing effectively and mirror it to their own gameplay, because Evil Geniuses clearly has a leg up on a lot of people right now, or a lot of these teams, on how to execute on Strongholds. But the same can be said for all the other game types, as Evil Geniuses clearly not being as strong. They definitely need to work on these Slayers, because if you send it all the way to game 5 and fall short, what was the point besides that map win percentage?
Yeah, it's, again, unfortunate for Evil Geniuses that they've kind of lost a lot of game 5s in the past. They've won some very important big ones, especially when I think about Regret going up there for the X Games gold medal, but they have to win this one, in my opinion. I mean, in order to secure, they've definitely proven themselves in terms of, they're back, in my opinion. But winning this would solidify it. Again, I'm looking at Roy. Roy, he dropped 15 kills in the previous Slayer. He is someone to just completely take over a game. He's grabbed the scatter shot here, sniped down another player that can take over a game, picks up a double kill to start, and now Roy, last guy alive. This is not the start that Evil Geniuses was looking for.
Yeah, and he's already getting called out here. He's trying to move around, not turn the scatter shot over. Hook challenges, though, snipe down with the sniper rifle, and Tom 6-0. This is not looking good. Game 5, make that 7-0. Oh, this is kind of exactly what we were scared of happening.
Yeah, snipe down with the sniper rifle. Very, very scary here with this comfortable lead. Also, he is the, I guess, least furthest pushed up, I guess. I mean, he's just sitting in the back right now. Everyone else for EnVyUs pressing forward. Furthest back, yeah. He's, look at that, just perfect execution. He knows that as soon as someone else distracts for him, that's his moment to go in and strike. You're never going to find anyone in Halo history better at not being shot at when he has the sniper rifle than snipe down. I swear, he could be sitting in the camo in the middle of the map, just completely visible, scoped in, and no one will shoot him. I don't know how he does it.
That's a really good point to bring up as well. He does consistently get a lot of time to line up some of these sniper shots, but big props to his teammates there that set him up to be in that position.
And there it is. He actually gets shot at. It's going to be Roy coming in with the perfect kill. Just a disaster start, though, for Evil Geniuses. We'll see if they can bring it back here. Roy with the weapons. He has the sniper rifle. Can possibly do it. If there's any time to, give up a 10-0, run, I guess you would say, hey, let's do it and get it out of the way right to start here. But looks like Lunchbox is going to slow this one down and wait for the camo. While that's happening, all of his teammates are just collapsing all around, are getting collapsed on all around. So this is just EnVyUs getting aggressive, being pissed off that they even went to game 5 to begin with, and trying to close this series out against Evil Geniuses in very dominating fashion, which Envy likes to do. I mean, when I go back and I think it was the Daytona series that they played against Ryanoob's team, it was a very decisive game 5 win, and that always feels good when you go to that very stressful situation and you know that you're so confident that this game is completely under control.
Yeah, I mean, 17-8, so by no means out of this one, and Evil Geniuses and Roy here, sitting in pretty good position. Now, they don't have that sniper rifle still in the hands of Snipedown over there, who's sitting in Whitehall in this corner.
Look out.
Uh-oh, Roy. He wants to play, but he does not want to get no-scoped, and he just waits. Perfect timing, but that would look like a teammate. That was such a big mistake here coming out of Evil Geniuses, and tapping buttons, not connecting on that headshot. That could have been the turn that they needed. They could have had every weapon and power-up at the same time here on the outside of the map, and they just barely fell short.
Ooh, Roy getting the pick on to Snipedown now. Look at this, 7 kills with the setup. Not the end of the world here for Evil Geniuses. Falke with the scatter shot. He has to locate this player on his radar and drop him immediately. That's going to be a nice little hit marker with the grenade, but it's always one of those feelings that you don't want to have when you're sitting around with a sniper rifle and a scatter shot and you see some of your teammates dying. That's, again, one of the things that we've seen from Evil Geniuses a little bit too much in this game. Roy, he's going to drop to Hook with the sniper rifle. Looks like Lunchbox is going to get a kill onto Snipedown. So Falke just going to fall back over here with the scatter shot, or is he going to get aggressive? Looks like he's going to make his way over towards Whitehall. Definitely a powerful position to be in. However, he is going to get collapsed on. Very nice scatter shot onto Pistola. Also doing a good job staying alive behind the wall there, trying to buy some time for his teammates. However, Hook's going to fly out there. One of the things that is great about him just staying alive, Hook does get the kill, however, he brought Hook out of his position, so now Hook had to charge out and maybe got a little bit more damage that he was liking to take on the tail end of that. However, again, a comfortable lead here now, 8 kills for EnVyUs with Camo coming up.
And that's a good point to bring up, just buying the extra time. As long as the enemy team is searching for you and shooting at you, it means they're not shooting and looking for your teammates. You're buying a lot of time, and with this being such just a team-oriented game, it's really what you have to do. Buy the extra time. Don't let them get that free or easy kill on you and immediately be able to double team your teammates.
Right, that's why what Snipedown is doing right there is so important. Not over challenging, tapping buttons, and then jumping out and getting those free shots onto Lunchbox. Imagine if another player was doing that, right? You're going into almost a 4-on-2 situation because both of those players, they can't fight because they're so weak. So it's very important. Ooh, nice job by Roy, sneaking on over towards the bunker area. He's going to drop on over to Pistola, but just a little play like that really sets a panic in the rest of the team for EnVyUs because they're worried how that guy even got on over there. So everyone turns around. That allows the rest of Evil Geniuses to advance on the map, and that allows Lunchbox here to try to follow up with his own sneaky play.
Yeah, you can see Evil Geniuses has just worked a lot on baiting their teammates here. So Lunchbox is going to be baiting, even though he's the closest to danger. He's almost the furthest from harm, Tom, because he's baiting his teammates and he's going to push up behind them.
Really happy with that one. Right?
That's a funny one. I like that one. And then you see all the action just happen around bottom center. No camo here quite yet, but you know, one thing to point out as well, that back whack on Snipedown, there's one thing that drives Snipedown insane, and that's getting assassinated.
That's also losing the sniper rifle.
Yep.
So if you could back whack him while he has a sniper rifle, you
win.
probably could win the game. Yeah, and it's not a probably, it's actually guaranteed. But this has, again, been a very comfortable lead ever since the beginning of the game here for EnVyUs. They haven't showed any panic quite yet. They've been very calm, cool, and collected. Snipedown finding another kill. Falke most likely going to drop with the scatter shot here very shortly. He also had the sniper rifle, so that's going to be weapons going on over to EnVy. Very nice job there by Pistola, doing a bait and switch over towards the bottom engine area. Now they have positioning with the sniper rifle on the map with camo coming up here too. This is the opportunity here for EnVyUs to really put the Evil Geniuses away.
Oh, and it looks like they spotted Roy hiding. He's been sneaky so far this game, but not this time around. Tapping buttons trying to help him out, but that's just going to give a huge numbers advantage with power weapon and map control over to EnVy here. Pistola just shooting some no-scopes around. They know they're in prime position. This is their game to lose now. And they've got 2 sniper rifles in their hands. Snipedown still got one. Ola's got the new one.
Yeah, Snipedown, he's going to drop, so it looks like that one is out of ammo, but 10 more kills, and this one's going to be all over. Virtually, you're going to have to see Evil Geniuses push here without giving up any kills, which they just did, and then clear all the players out, and I just don't see that happening. It's going to be a pretty weak barrels push. Everyone going to drop for EG. I'm wondering if we may see a steak dinner here, Kyle. I don't know, but EnVyUs has had a dominating Game 5 here. Very well executed on all fronts. Roy, he's been doing whatever he can. I mean, every time you go on over to Roy, he's either getting a kill or putting some serious damage onto someone, but can't do it all alone there. As you can see, there's 3 players over towards that back wall, and Pistola had that frag grenade sitting there, so much confidence coming in from EnVyUs. It's just a matter of time now before they're able to close this one out.
Yeah, definitely looking to put the nail in the coffin here. Only 5 kills, you know, good amount of time left, but such a big lead. It's going to be very challenging to have to deal with right now. And, you know, taking a look with the sniper rifle still in Pistola's hands, he's been doing work this game. He's got 10 assists and more than double anyone on Evil Genius.
Yeah, he got that wingman, and it's always a great feeling when you get a wingman and plus go on that killing spree as well. Roy, he's holding his own right now for Evil Geniuses, has the most kills for his team, but just kind of an underwhelming performance coming in from the rest of the guys, and kind of just an underwhelming opening strategy from Evil Geniuses to begin with. Don't get me wrong, playing from the blue side, I still think that it's a little bit more of a disadvantage. Red team, they're the higher seed. They get the advantage a little bit technically anyway. It's just unfortunate for them that, you know, not able to get the sniper rifle to start, not able to get anything going with the camo. It was only Roy with that scatter shot, and it looked like EnVyUs' plan was just to leave that scatter shot for free anyway and allow them to get that so they can allocate more resources towards the important parts of the map, which is getting that camo and getting that snipe. So now you're seeing a setup here for Evil Geniuses, and it's slowed down drastically, but again, they're going to have to really pick these guys apart. I mean, Roy's going to have to go off with the sniper rifle. He's already started off with a headshot. Them not getting the camouflage, though, is a huge mistake. Falcated now charging in with the scatter. That's just poor execution there. Falcated needed to stop the camouflage. Not only that, needed to live with the scatter shot to pick that up in order to win this game. And now Snipedown's going to walk away with that, and the rich just get richer.
Yeah, I mean, the new sniper rifle's up. You got Envy pushing on to try to secure that one. They're up by 10 kills. Scatter shot was not picked up by anyone here, so that one's going to be on respawn. Yeah, but it looks like it's just, this is a tough spot to be in. Even if you play this perfectly, you got to rely on kills not going over to Envy. And when you got a sniper rifle and you got people like Pistola,
nasty
snipe down Hook on the